In this unit we're going to take a look at creating section views in Revit. So what exactly is a section? Well, an architectural section is a slice through your design, through your building, and it helps explain the composition of the spaces and the structure. So I've got a section set up in this simple model here. So we're looking at a plan view. A section normally consists of a section line to tell the person reading your document or looking at your drawing where the section is taken through. So here is our section line, our cut line if you like. The little symbol at the end shows which direction the section view is taken from. So you can think of this, if this was a little architectural model and we took a saw or a knife and we cut through at that point and we took this lower piece out of the way and then we looked at our design from the side, what we'd actually see is that particular section. So I'm going to switch to the section now. So in our project browser we have a separate group for sections, and there is section 1, this particular view that's nested under that group name. So if I double click that and open the section, there is the section view generated from that particular section line. So I'll just very quickly flick back to the plan. So you'll notice part of this section is internal here, where it cuts through the building, and then we see part of our design in that section, part of the external parts of the building over to the right hand side. So you can see this particular section is taken through these windows. So if we go back to the section view, there are the windows that it cuts through, and there is the external part of the building that we're seeing, strictly speaking, in elevation at that point. Now certainly back in the days of manual drafting on drawing boards, creating sections was quite a lengthy, sometimes laborious process. You would have drawn out your plan and you generate your section typically up here on the same bit of paper, and you literally have to project all your lines up to work out where the different elements were in that view. In 2D AutoCAD and different CAD systems, really it's the same process as manual drafting. You would have to put projection lines on from your plan to actually work out where your walls and your windows would appear. In Revit it's much easier. You simply define where you want the section to be. You put the section line onto a plan and Revit will automatically create the section view because it is working with the underlying 3D model. It is really just like placing another camera into the model, setting the depth, and Revit will automatically generate the corresponding section view. And there's the one we've just seen previously. Again, real power of Revit comes from the ability to generate as many views as you need of different parts of the model generated from the model very quickly. This goes for sections as well, so we can have any number of section lines placed in any orientation and Revit will generate those sections instantaneously. Also, another powerful attribute is the fact that those section views are always synchronized with the plans because it is all coming from the same model. So in the example I just described with manual drafting or AutoCAD, if once you've projected and set out that section, if you then go and change, let's say, the position of that wall over to the right there, you would have to go and manually adjust your section to match. With Revit, because it's being generated from a single model, as soon as I move that wall, I go back to the section, you can see it has changed in the section view. So that's a really powerful aspect of Revit, that it's keeping all your different views always synchronized and ensuring that they're a true representation of each other. Let's now take a look at how we create sections. So on our ribbon, I'm going to switch to the View menu, find the Create panel, and on there you will find the icon for section. Go ahead and click Section. Now this is a two-click operation and you're defining the start and end of the section line. So I'm going to first create a section through the building at this point. So first click there, move the cursor to the right, and a second click to generate the section. And that's it, the section's already created. If you look down in the project browser, section 2 appears. That's the one we just created, so I can double click and switch to that section there. Let's go back to the floor plan. Let's do another one, a long section through the building. So again, view, create panel, section, click at the start of the section line and click to place the other end, and the section is created. Now I just want to explain a few things about the icons at the end of the section line so you can understand exactly what's happening. So I'll leave this section that we've just created active. There's a few different symbols to explain here. So we've got a section bubble, a marker at the end. It's got a triangle to show you which way the section's taken. So that will be useful when it appears on a sheet and you print it out so the person reading the drawing knows which way the section's aimed at. We've got a split in the middle of the bubble with some dashes above and below. That is the same as the reference really we saw in the last unit on elevations, i.e. the section or the view number and the sheet number will be filled in automatically once this plan and the corresponding section get placed onto sheets. So don't worry about those dashes, Revit will handle those when you get to the stage of composing your sheets. We've also got a little flip control there that hands or flips over the section. So if when you place a section line you actually intended to generate a section on that line but looking this way into the building, we can instantly flip the section over. We can adjust the width of the section with some grips here. Likewise, we can adjust the depth of the section, similar to what we saw with the elevation and the depth, the clipping plane. So we can make adjustments just by moving the grips there. We've got grips for the other end of the section there, the width of it. We've also got these little cyclic toggles here that controls the display of the markers at the end, so you can toggle between a little filled in rectangle. If I click on the cycle, no graphic, or a bubble head to match the one on the other end, and again there's a cycle on that end, so depending on what you want to see you just cycle through the different options there. Once you've created your sections, it's very easy to make adjustments to them. So here are the sections that we've previously created. So the position or location of the section can be adjusted just by selecting the section line and simply hovering over the line itself and clicking and dragging. Just click and hold the left mouse button and you can move that section line to a new location. The depth of the section, as we saw, can be adjusted with these two little triangular blue grips. So set that accordingly. Likewise, the width of the section. Now that is adjusting the actual section view width. You've got separate grips for the line itself. That controls how you want the section line to appear on the plan. And you can also split the section line graphically on a plan with that little chevron symbol in the middle. You can just about make that out. So if I click on that, the line now has a split in it. It has a blue fill grip on each end, so we can pull that back that end. So I know some designers prefer that graphical convention for their section lines, i.e. they don't want the section line itself to span across the drawing. They want it either side just to show where the section line is located. And finally, we talked about the flip control. So if you place the section in that position and really you intended it to generate a section looking this way, we can simply select the section, click on the flip control, and you can see it's handed over the direction of the section view itself. A variation of the architectural section is the split or staggered section. That is where you want the section line to stagger along its length so that it goes through different parts of your building. This might better help explain your design. So for example, if we want a section that picks up this particular window here, but also then picks up this door and finally picks up this external double door, we're going to need a section line that actually staggers or splits as it winds its way across the plan. We can do that in Revit quite easily. I'm going to show you how to do that now. The first thing to do is just add a section line as we've done previously. So the view menu and section. So I'm going to start here and just put our section line in to start with, like that. While it's still active, we now need to use this split segment tool up here. Now that only becomes available to you if you have a section line selected. So there's the one we've just created. Hit split segment. Upon doing so, we have a little scalpel or knife icon where the cursor is, and we hover over the section line itself. You can see it highlights in blue. Now every time I click with the left mouse button, it's going to place a stagger or a split in that line. So I'm going to click here and move up. Now I can take the section line through that door, click to place, and now I'm going to split it. I'll split it there, drag up again and ensure it goes through that external door on the right, and click to place. Hit modify to cancel out of the section tool, and there is our split section. So if we have a look at that, you can see it is a true section that follows the line. So it's gone through that first window, there's the door we wanted to see, and if we move over, there is the external double door on the other side. So go back to my plan, just select that section again we've created. You can see there's a pair of grips on each part or each segment of the section line, so we can make fine adjustments. Just undo that, not move the group of tables. Pick up the grips very carefully. I can adjust where those splits are, so I can fine tune the exact location of the section line and which elements I need it to go through. If you change your mind and you want to recombine some of those splits, it's easy. Just, for example, hit that grip. If you pull it down, as soon as that one segment coincides with the other, it joins back together. So likewise, we could repair the whole section line back to its original form. So split segment again, section, place your section line on the ribbon at the end, split segment, click where you want the segment to split and click to place. I'm just going to zoom in on the marker at the end of the section line. I said earlier in the unit that the dashes here were for the references. They will get filled in automatically when the plan and the sections get placed onto sheets. Just going to show you that in practice now. So we've got two blank Autodesk sheets here, some title block families. So let's go with A103, open that one. Let's place the plan onto that sheet. Again, no references have appeared yet because their corresponding section views haven't been placed. So let's switch to sheet A104. Single click to highlight the view I'm interested in, section 1. drag and place on there, single click to highlight section 2, click and hold left mouse button to drag onto this sheet. And now if I go back to A103, we can see this particular section view can be found on sheet A104 and it's view number 1, and likewise this section can be found on sheet A104 and it's view number 2. So the references have been automatically filled in by Revit because it has enough data from the sheet families. You can take that parametric data, the sheet numbers, and fill in the heads accordingly.
And that completes this unit. To get the most out of this training material, please take the complete course online at bimscape.com. Here you will find a complete learning management system that allows you to work through the course at your own pace. Comprehensive written tutorials provide additional information to that found in the training videos. Mark each unit as complete as you finish it and move on to the next. At any point you can return to any of the units you have previously completed to go over the material again. If you'd like to take this course online, please visit www.bimscape.com/Revit for details.